Hey, what's up, my people? This is Jay Cuttz, Salvaequa. We're back with another beautiful Meaning of Life episode. And we have my special guest, Johnny Davidson, again, back in the house. Shouts to Johnny Davidson. What's up, bro?
Hello, hello. Johnny Dean, Johnny Davidson here from, your host of Style Island Talks. Hello, Jay. It's been a long time we've been on set. How's everything going?
I can't complain, Johnny. You know, you've been a very positive friend of mine for a long time, and I thank God for you and for the path that we're on right now with our careers in CDL and in trucking, which is why I'm actually wearing this headset right here. Do you people know that legally you're supposed to wear these headsets while you're driving, in particular tractor trailer, dump trucks, box trucks, because you're not supposed to be on your phone. They can actually check your phone in case of an accident and see if you were on it that second. So with these headsets, you can just hit that button right here on the side and you can answer a phone call without having to put your hands on the phone. So of course, thank God for these opportunities and for a resource like this, right, that can help us stay more alert on the road. So what's up, Johnny? Talk to me about your experience, how it's been. You see me drive a tractor trailer on Sunday. I mean, how did you feel about that?
Honestly, um, it was it was pretty scary because I knew you drove like a box truck, but the trailer and the truck I wasn't sure. I thought you was gonna I thought you was gonna get a bunch of curbs with that trailer. You know how you see 18 wheelers trying to turn on this narrow street that their GPS tells them to turn at, and their trailers just hit the curb, like drive over the curb.
Yeah, I got you. I mean, yeah, of course they hit poles. They
That
can
too.
even hit cars, hurt people, of course. And how do you see that reflect back into your life? Like, does that make you feel more excited about driving the school bus soon?
Yeah, that I was sitting in the tractor trailer with you and the instructor, and I was sitting in that little seat that usually students like CDL little student cars have, that middle seat they have in the truck. But I was like, okay, the instructor's there, and I know the instructor got the brakes on his side, so he can hit it whenever he wants to.
But right that you know that I have experience with box trucks, so you knew that I had some understanding of what I was doing, even though tractor trailer is a different ball game, right? Because of
Right,
the axles that he explained, which is what the steering axle is the A axle, the axle by the fifth wheel is the B
right,
axle, and the axle by the last tire is the C axle.
right.
So when you heard him explain that formula, how did your eyes open to that experience of driving a tractor trailer? Because right, he broke it down in a way where you could really understand it and feel safer.
He broke it in a way to make people understand it, but when I heard it, I didn't really understand. He confused me once he got down in there. He told once I got confused once he started naming the wheels with the ABCs.
The
I
axles.
was like, ugh. I didn't know, and then plus the steering in front. That also got me confused because how's that? I was like, how's that axle when it turns and all those other stuff? You know what I mean?
It was simplified
But
for me.
it's also a wheel.
The C axle, right, is the last wheel. And so the importance about me driving this tractor trailer and him explaining this formula to me is basically that you have to have full sighting of the C axle, which is the axle in the last tire in the
Right,
very back of the truck. And when you're driving a tractor trailer, because it's lashed onto a fifth wheel, which is the B axle, it sort of has like a worm-like function where you're making turns and you're losing sight of the C axle, which is the back of the truck. And when you're losing sight of that, you can possibly hit whatever's around it. God forbid a person, an animal, dog, cat, whoever's there. And that's the importance of understanding these axles and being able to maneuver. So you drive in a way where you're always aware of the C axle, which is the axle in the back of the truck. Information that you don't really find online too much, but I'm putting out there in the forefront so people can understand the knowledge and understand how these people drive in such a professional way. It's not just that we know how it works, and because we know how it works, there's a formula in back of it. Like when the C axle passes the white line of an intersection when you're about to turn, that's practically a sign to already turn at full force. And then as you're turning, then you want to straighten up at full force as well, while still hitting the cast simultaneously. So there's a lot to it, but it's a lot of repetition. And as long as you put yourself out there, Johnny, you'll be able to learn this too.
Right.
And talk about how we went to the DNV today and we did a couple of testing, and his scores are getting higher. I got my school bus endorsement. I already got 4 tests that I passed, being a positive example for my friend right here, Johnny.
Right.
And how do you feel about that, seeing your scores go up and your knowledge increase?
Honestly, I kind of feel happy, but also still down because of the school bus. I got 1 point down. Instead of staying where it was at, I thought I was going to get a little bit higher for school bus and air brakes and passenger endorsement.
Yeah, but bro, don't even worry about it, man. I already told you put God first and just keep on studying, focus on the craft. A lot of these questions are very, very tricky, but it's a part of the process. And as far as the dream of your school bus, exactly what would you say is the motivating factor behind that?
Motivate, like how? Like what?
Like, what is your strongest why as to why you want to do this? What made you even say that this was your dream? What brought you to that conclusion?
There's 2 things that I had. I had really 3 nice bus drivers, and 2, I like kids, and 3, I know I said there was only 2, but the third one was because I like the vehicles. I find them interesting.
All right, that's what it is. So to you, that'll be like a ballpark game.
Yeah. And then plus there's always something new. Even if it's just a school bus, there's always something new. Being added or taken off.
You have a passion for driving.
Yes.
And the school bus is just more of a reason to feel that passion.
Yep, because school busing, it may not be like over the road tractor trailer or anything else over the road, but at least it gives me the opportunity to learn a little bit of my mistakes and how it feels to be a driver, because I know how school bus drivers feel. So I also wanted to see how that felt, and I also want to learn as I go and explore New York City, because one day I'm not going to stay in New York City and Staten Island. I'm not going to stay in that New York State sooner or later. So I might as well take whatever opportunity I got out there before I move out of here if I wanted to move.
And with your Class B school bus plus passenger endorsement,
yes,
you'll be able to make that happen.
Correct.
You got work all over the place. Where do you plan on actually moving?
Right now, I did say my dream would be to move to Dallas, not Dallas, but Texas, somewhere in Texas. But if not, if I like it here more, then I'll probably find a little house here. But my main goal is to find a house actually here until I could set myself up good and then go out there in Texas and repeat the whole process again.
I mean, technically if you have it like that, you can get 2 houses. You can have one here and you can have one in the South, which is what I'm planning to do because, right, we'll have to travel, TV station or business, family, stuff like that, or friends, so it helps.
Right.
And how did you feel when I gave you a 2.5, possibly 3-hour box truck class about a month ago, 2 months ago, and you drove a box truck for the first time?
At night.
At night, of course. Do you know why? Because you want the roads and you want the parking lots and
to be empty.
the environment to be as free as possible because you don't want to have room for any type of mistake when you're dealing with vehicles like that.
Me, I have when you first put me there, I said, okay, I already know what to do. Look under the hood, even though the truck been running for hours because it's night, because he was using it. So I had to make sure to not touch some of the parts under the engine because it was hot. Of course, it been running, and then inspect the tires, the back, and then go inside and do our little air brake test, and then do the little circles in the parking lot, and then doing docking, of course, docking between a trailer and a fence.
Exactly. You were able to stay in between the lines. And then talk about how it was when you took it out for the first time, especially me as a de facto instructor, because I'm not an official qualified instructor, but I was your de facto instructor, right?
Yeah, because when we was going, you didn't see it, but I think you did. But I called it out that a city bus was coming towards us when I was about to turn out.
Tractor trailer by Amazon.
No, it was no. You remember we was coming down. We was about to turn on the that street, which I'm not gonna name because of reasons. But you remember that bus that was coming down the street, and I waited for it, and then once it stopped, I was turning and I stopped, and you said to go, but I told you that the bus stopped in the lane that I was trying to turn in, right?
Yeah, but I didn't mean to go like right at the bus. I was just saying like, to
Yeah,
sort of
I
maneuver
wasn't.
around it.
No, I wasn't gonna try to move around it. I was gonna get into the left lane, but the way the bus stopped at, I couldn't make that turn, so I had to wait.
Yeah, I mean, but this is the thing too, right? When you're driving these vehicles, you also want to use your common
Cautious.
sense as well. And you do have to take into account, right, that I'm not in the driver's seat and I don't have actual brake pedal on my passenger side because I'm not a real instructor. I was saying a de facto instructor. I gave you all the knowledge that I could have in that 26-foot box truck, which is practically half a semi. And I put my trust in you, and I felt a little nervous, but it's not necessarily because of you. It's just when you give
Because you got
somebody
nothing on in the front seat
a
to hit on.
not just that. When you give somebody a huge responsibility like that, it's like handing somebody a weapon and knowing that they're not going to hurt you. And it is up to a certain point. A 26-foot box truck, non CDL, is also a Class B truck. The only thing that separates it is the fact that it doesn't have that same weight, which is underneath 26,000 pounds. So you going through that experience and proving to me that you can do it and that you can use your judgment along with the instruction that I gave you. And I might have been wrong in a certain part or two because I wasn't looking through the driver's seat. I was looking through the passenger seat, which is why when we were by the highway, I told you to go and you saw that the tractor trailer was shooting out of the highway ramp
Yeah,
to get out.
and
And you saw that that was going to happen and you saved us. But this is the thing, you were in the driver's seat. You can see that clearly. I'm in the passenger seat. It's quiet. It's late at night. I'm thinking nobody's there. And you saved us. And thank God that you did. But do you see what I'm saying? Like, that's the beauty of you also taking my knowledge, but also adding yours to it.
hmm and then yeah, so we left that parking lot to go to another parking lot. We had a little situation over there, so we couldn't go in that lot at night. So we had to leave the lot and just go somewhere else
Yeah.
because I don't know why some of these lots this year have like that security camera little thing that stands in the parking lot.
Yeah. It made that sound like leave the parking lot right now.
Yeah.
We're going to contact the authorities. And I'm just like, showing this kid how to drive a box truck. What are you talking about? But some lots do have these new
Man,
devices there, I think it's because people go inside of those lots to do unlawful things, but we were just learning. I was just teaching him how
to
to
go
drive a
through
box truck.
obstacles.
That's it. But the same training that they gave me with non-CDL box trucks is exactly what I gave you, which is I took you to a parking lot not too far from here, Then you made turns, backed up, showed me that you have full control of the box truck, and then we practically headed out for the first drive down to the Home Depot area, and then we got out of there, and then got like around South Avenue. Then we went to the Amazon where I would go to pick up loads and dock and stuff like that. I did have a box truck job, just had to leave it for specific reasons that I'll name probably later. And yeah, I was, docking in Amazon, and I was going to Brooklyn, Queens, all these places. Again, half a semi truck, non CDL. They don't give you professional training. Very concerning experience for me. Do you know why? I feel safer in a semi truck. Do you know why? Because at least you get professional guidance before you jump into this monstrous vehicle. But in the box truck, it's almost like you're just out there on your own. So I was glad that I was able to be there for you. So how did that make you feel? The fact that you proved to yourself that you can drive a box truck for 2.5 hours plus without without hitting nothing. If anything, you avoided traps, you avoided accidents and obstacles.
Right.
How was that for you? I'm saying that you successfully navigated the whole night without any complication.
The thing is, I wouldn't mind actually driving that kind of box truck. I actually kind of liked it.
And you're young. Look,
I liked it.
You're 22 years old, right?
Nah, 23.
All right, you're 23 years old, and look at that. You were driving this like it's a car, and
The only thing is, you just have to maintain. You just have to try to keep from going on the yellow line and the white line. You basically have to play with the steering wheel to stay straight as you can be until it's time to turn or to park.
and you didn't feel a little nervous when you first started. You felt like at home.
Actually, no. At first, I was like, I don't know. I was like, maybe I might press on the brake too hard, or probably like I give it too much gas, or enough gas, or something, or I might turn too early or too late because in a big vehicle like that, you have the time to turn it.
And do you say that right? It's a sign of high trust for somebody to let you drive something like that, right?
Right.
Especially when, like I told you, I'm not a professional instructor. I'm de facto, right? Meaning I'm not certified. And, I didn't have a brake pedal on my passenger side. So I had to have trust that you were going to hit that brake pedal. But you proved to me that you can do it, and you made me proud. And I'm just glad that I gave you the opportunity. I will never forget that because somebody did that for me. And I felt like I was able to repay, you know, by doing that for you now. And now you can do it for somebody else in the future. Just make sure that you choose the right person.
Right.
And as far as these box trucks too, what I also was gonna ask is that something that you could see yourself involved in the future, like having like a business with box trucks and knowing how to drive these things, being able to train people and stuff like that?
I mean, probably not a business, but I think I probably would try to join a box truck if I had to. So, like, I think if my school bus career probably doesn't work out, I think I'll probably try out a box truck too.
The school bus career can work out, but this is the thing, like you want to be a business owner too. Now you can own school buses and also have that. Those are good contracts. You can also have contracts with Amazon through box trucking. I mean, there's just so many avenues. Like I could drive a semi truck, but I'll say I'll still have a business with box trucks. They're not as expensive to maintain. Insurance is cheaper, and you don't need a CDL for it.
Right.
So that's the good thing. But as we're having this conversation, I'll put some scenes here and there of you in the box truck. You know, you actually had on this specific headset on too, right? You had on the vest.
Yeah, I had the training vest, yes, but I don't think I had the.
No, you did have the headset on.
I did. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. My bad. I did.
So you felt like a full-fledged box trucker at that point, right?
Nah.
What do you mean? You had the whole thing though.
Just felt like I was driving the truck.
No, but I'm saying you had the whole set though. You had like the vest, the headphones, the guidance, the vehicle. You went to Amazon where box trucks go to pick up loads. You did the real thing.
Right. By the way, we did not enter Amazon. We just like passed the entrance.
No, we did go inside, but we didn't go inside of the docking
Like
facilities.
the fenced area
Like
of Amazon.
the side where they start like scanning your truck and your plates and asking you if you're supposed to be here, for example. Because with Amazon, you're not supposed to go inside there, inside of like the gated area by the docks, unless you have a load. That's like against their policy. You can get your account suspended in a permanent way for that, actually. So that was something that they told me.
So yeah, we was just riding the little service roads that surrounds the Amazon facility a little bit.
Yeah, and how did you feel surrounded by the community of truckers? You seen bobtails, tractor trailers, other people in box trucks. I mean, you were around that world. You weren't just practicing that night.
Hon-
You were in the environment.
Honestly, I did like how we went down that little road on Amazon by Amazon, going towards Amazon, but I didn't like it at the same time because as you said in the front seat, how all these trucks was like lined up in the middle of the road. So it's nighttime and all the trucks are off. Some trucks are running, some trucks are off. The only thing is that I said is dangerous because no, that I don't like is because one of the people from the trucks could just jump out of nowhere. That's the thing.
They got to be careful too, though.
They could jump out at any second while you going either 20 or 15 miles per hour or even 10 miles per hour. You still have to be careful of going through a narrow street like that, especially when there's trucks parked in that little median that has like the yellow boxings on it where you can't park at.
Yeah, and that's why I told you as soon as you drove in there, I'm like, this is not as much practice no more, even though it is. I'm like, you're in a real world situation where people could walk out on you, and you just have to be aware of that. You got to take care of yourself, and you got to take this in a serious way. And I'm just glad that you were able to listen to my instruction and even use your own survival instincts to correct me when I was wrong. And I'm not, afraid to admit that. A real man admits when he's wrong. And there was like a moment or two, I would say a moment from what I remember where Johnny corrected me, and it perhaps saved us from a very complicated future. So thank God. And again, like I'm saying, you live and you learn. I'm not a professional, and even a professional can be wrong.
Right.
It's just about learning, through your experience. So I'm glad that we were able to achieve this milestone, and I look forward on helping you get all your endorsements, passenger endorsements, school bus endorsements, the air brakes,
Right.
knowledge tests, all of that. We'll be back at the Department of Motor Vehicles to complete these tasks.
Right.
Do you have a message for the youth, man, for anybody that is getting involved in the CDL world?
To the people, to the youth, just like me, even though I'm young too. Go get your CDL license. If you have a passion for either truck driving, box truck driving, or whatever out there, get your CDL.
Exactly. And also one more thing. What do you say is the meaning of life for you?
I say the meaning of life is to live, learn, and laugh. Because you are gonna have you're gonna have some part in your life that you're gonna be laughing. There's some part of your life that you're gonna be learning consequences and all this other stuff. And the last one, enjoy your life. Enjoy what you got. Because if you don't enjoy it, it might come to an end real soon.
Exactly. Well, that's very deep. You heard that from the legendary Johnny Davidson.
And to remind y'all, he said it came that's very deep coming from a 23-year-old.
You've also been around the meaning of life and people that are wiser and more knowledgeable, and I think it's easier to pick up from that when you're around that environment. I'm glad that I could be a positive influence for you, man, because it means the world to me. I would say you're doing God's work, man, when you're staying on that positive road and when you actually care about the community and you care about the best, for people. You have that compassion to touch your heart. Not the whole world's not going to look at it like that, but for those that do, I would say that's your tribe. Those are the ones that you want around you.
Right.
Exactly. So that's what it is. We've had a beautiful show, The Meaning of Life. This is the insider of a trucker's lifestyle, and just very glad that we were able to shed light. Is there anything else that you want to say for the people?
One thing I'm gonna say is that if I don't keep up with the Staten Island talks, at least I have some other social medias that you guys could also follow me on if I'm not posting any videos on there.
Got you. No, you'll be back with the Staten Island talk soon, man. We just gotta get some stuff together, man. Like I said, I'm down to direct your show, at least from the time that I'm here. That last show that you did with your friend, you should tell them to stop by again. I think you two make a great team for Staten Island Talks. And you're, able to connect with the youth, just the way y'all interact. It's like, if it's good with people around your age that will like the show, And then my show is for all ages, but I would say my show is more for a mature type of audience.
Definitely.
I mean, I'm 40. Now, I'm not 40 years old, but I'm saying I'm like 40 years old almost. Not really, actually. I'm in my early 30s still, but I still think that I'm an old soul. I'm like 50 years old, man. So when I talk for the older heads. You know what I mean? Right. So that's what it is. Shouts to my bro Johnny.
Right.
Stay blessed, everybody. All right.